せいぜい乱暴にするといいにゃ。でも部屋で飼うのでもせめて手枷を外してほしいにゃ。動けないのは辛いにゃ。逃げないからお願いします。いい子にするからご飯だけは食べさせてほしいの。夜中に吠えたりしないの。噛みついたりもしないの。
Who else yelled? God damn it. Yo, when the episode ended this week, I can't even front with y'all. Like, when Fitz, Sophie, whatever, left Rudy's room, I was like, God damn it. And then the cuts of the credits. Oh my God. This episode was so good. Like, I know I'm a broken record. Like, this has been, 2 cores last season, and now we have season 2, and I'm a broken record, but this show like just keeps getting better and better and better. And I love how we've transitioned now from this isekai reincarnation fantasy world adventure magic fantasy, and now we've swapped to Magic School, Magic Academy, and it's taking on a different persona and a different vibe, and it's killing it and it's crushing it. And part of the reason that it's doing that is because we're so, and I say we because I think there's a we here, but I think it's because we're so attached to everything that is shown us by its amazing storytelling, world building, nuance, context, everything that we've gotten so far. Now that it's transitioned into what we're getting now with Zanoba and with the holy relic of Roxy with the Doldia girls, and knowing of what we know about Doldia and how Rudy was handled there, and how he had the sacred beasts, and how he was mishandled, and how he was praised later on, and how Ghislaine came from there. So it's like you have all of this additional context of baggage you're carrying with you, so it makes everything more enticing and appealing, and you're drawn in more to it. Then they even so slickly added another character in there in Julie, which started off originally as a slave, and now she's not your traditional slave in this world that's branded or tarnished or forced. She's given a different life, and Zanoba has been teaching her or treating her really, really well. And she is Rudy's apprentice, and she's learning silent casting, and she's learning all these tricks and trades of, being able to build, models of dolls. I'm using Himiko over here as an example, but she's learning all these tricks and trades, which, this specific type of trade doesn't exist in this world. So if they can make it something, that this is going to be extremely lucrative for Rudy and for Zanoba in the future, securing him a line of finance. And then for Julie, not only is she learning silent casting, so she's going to end up being a really, really cool, powerful mage because she's getting taught by Rudy, which is seemingly, at least top 25 mages in the world, maybe top 50 mages. I don't really know where he stands in his current form, but I would say at least top 50 mages in the world kind of thing that she's learning from. So she's definitely going to be ultra powerful and be able to help Zanoba and whoever else she comes across in the future. But then she's also going to have a very cool stream of funds and money and everything. So they're giving her all of this up front and being reciprocated. So that's a really cool thing to see. Then you have this whole entire story here of everything that occurred this episode, with us being more introduced to the Doldia girls, Linnea, and I think the other one's Persona, something. I'm gonna say Persena. I don't know how to say her name. You have these 2 girls, so they introduce us to her, and we know that the Linnea girl has some ties to Ghislaine's brother. I think she's one of his kids or whatever. So, she has ties to that, which brings Rudy back tied once again to the Doldia tribe. And I like how you have both Persena and both Linnea basically saying that you can do whatever you want to us, Rudy. At this point, they're calling him boss man. So he's doing the Yakuza gangster shit over here. And they basically say, yo, we could do anything, just not have babies. Anything else is on the table. If you want to have the babies, marriage gotta come first kind of thing, big dog. And I like how they just throw that on the table too. And they're both like, yeah, you got that. And I think, and then the Persena girl, she's like, well, if you give me lots of meat and you feed me well, I don't know, we'll see. And I love how, I just love that playfulness of everything. Then we transition to this really cool, serious tone with Sophie going back to the room. helping Rudy out with his little kerfuffle with the girls, trying to, you know, teach him a lesson, but also not wanting them to hold a grudge. And, she threatens them with this really cool tattoo face thing. Basically, she just bullshits a lot, and they believe it, hand and fist. Rudy spends time with Sylphie in the room, and she sees everything in his room but the Holy Grail. But he was showing the Holy Grail off earlier because he wanted to let the girls know about the Temple of Roxy. And I thought that was all just hilarious and funny and so entertaining. And the girls, they dip out, and then he spends a lot of time with Sylphie. Then he shares a moment where he's just kind of staring like, I want to see those glasses off, girl. And this episode, the way the episode started with her going for a run and taking her glasses and thinking about Rudy and Sylphie finally realizing that she's in love, in love with Rudy. And it's like, girl, you just barely noticed that? Like, we all noticed this, like, when you were like 4 years old, girl. Like, you've been in love with Rudy. But it's like, I like that in the beginning of the episode too, she had the dialogue of Rudy being a no-toast, and she's gonna have to deal with his other girls and stuff, and how is she gonna deal with that? And I like how she's basically thinking so far ahead in the future. Like, there's no question or doubt in her mind that she's going to be with Rudy in the future, kind of thing. Like, so she has to, like, she's planning out her marriage and how she's gonna deal with all the other girls in his life, and how she's gonna kind of like keep him there, and how she knows she can't completely keep him there because he's a no-toast, just like her guard friend is for the princess. And he has a little of that. She knows how Paul was too, and how even Paul during marriage had a little, so she knows that she can't completely keep the reins, so she's planning for all of that. And this thing that's just so cute. And then she goes out for a run with her, without her glasses, and I was like, oh, I was like shaking, is this the episode that we're going to get Rudy spotting her without her glasses, and it's all going to come to fruition? No, they're pussyfooting around it. They want to keep dangling that. We're big fish. They want to keep trying to reel us in. And that's where I was 2 minutes ago when I was talking about her being in his room and he's staring at her in her face. And I thought that was an awesome moment. And she's like, you want to see? And he's like, yes, I do. And she's like, can't do it, bro. And he's like, oh. And I like how Rudy, even in that moment too, he contemplates like, yo, if she did, there'd be no going back, basically saying, he's just like, yo, he's willing, he's an ice cream guy, but he's willing to go and try the cakey. You know what I mean? He's willing to go and try the cake to see if it fixes his problem. And you got to commend the guy on that. There's not many of us in the world who are like, who are a metal pole, right? And being like, well, I can tip the end. I can bend it, put a little heat on me. I'll tip the end just to see if maybe I'm not a straight pole anymore. Maybe I'm a pole that tips to the side. And I like how Rudy's willing to explore that, just to try and fix his problem because he really wants to fix his problem. But I like how he said, if she took her glasses off, there'd be no going back for that. He's like all sails. Ships going ahead, you know what I mean? So I can't wait for when that happens eventually. But man, this episode is so good. There's so much other nuance, so much other little moments and things that happen in this episode. So many lines, like the girls saying that they won't howl at night, just feed them, they peed themselves. Other moments with Zanoba and the moment he had with Rudy going all crazy, Roxy figure game there. There's so many other moments that I don't want to spend time covering. Those are the big ones here that happened this episode. 10 out of 10 episode. I mean, my enjoyment level was off the chain. I was laughing. I was like tearing up from laughing so much. There were so many cool moments this show. There was just so much more. I could probably talk for at least another 10 minutes at least about this show, but I won't. Now I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this episode. I think it was a 10 out of 10 episode for me. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. And my friends, I will see you all next Sunday. Actually, you know what? That reminds me. I'm gonna be on vacation. It's my son's birthday next weekend. So I will see you next episode, but I won't have the video ready for Sunday. I probably won't have that ready until Monday night, if not Tuesday morning. So I'm gonna be a couple days late on episode number. This is like the one time of the year too that I'm like, oh, I hope they delay an episode. It's happened before on vacation where the episode's gotten delayed. But next week's episode is called The Fiancé of Despair. Obviously, that's pointing towards Sylphie and her probably falling into despair, and she's gonna have to get ravished out of it by Rudy. But I can't wait for next episode. But I'm not gonna be able to cover it on Sunday, but I will cover it as soon as I get back from my vacation. So I'll see you guys then. Stay up, my friends. Not like Rudy, because he can't. Peace.